You won't believe what kind of secret car collections there are in the world. Hi, this is a DMC podcast. And thanks a lot for everybody tuning in again. And also, as usual, our good friend Alberto. How are you doing, bro?
Hi Greg, what about you?
Very good, very good. I heard you were very tired today. What happened?
Yeah, I've been driving around these days through Italy, and that got me thinking about all those cars and car collections that I passed through during some of my visits that are hidden. That if you don't have some insight in this world, you would never guess that you have those jewels right beside you at any time. And yeah, we wanted to talk about this today, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and since you mentioned Italy, I guess this is also one of my favorite videos that I like to watch on YouTube are these barn finds, basic, because I guess some of these collections are so secret that even the family that owns them forgets about those
Yeah.
cars, you know. But the reason I wanted to talk to about car collections today because especially in the Hong Kong car scene, there has been a topic going around about a video that has recently been posted by I think he's based in US, an influencer called Larry Chen. He came to Hong Kong and spoke about the car collections, especially the secret car collections. And yeah, the way he painted the picture about Hong Kong, the car scene, and those collections was a little bit dim. So I thought maybe we can use this video to talk about some of the things that are actually real about Hong Kong and then go to see, compare it. What's it actually in the world like? But I'll give the ball back to you first. Have you ever visited some of private car collections before?
Yeah, I was thinking actually about one story that I had. It happened to me not even a year ago. I was just having coffee, as you do in Italy, any time in the morning, and this guy that I know, who I has a couple of supercars and classic cars that I knew about. Some of them are very special. He approached me. I thought he wanted to take say, some pictures or whatever. And while we were talking, another friend of his came to show watch that he bought. And this friend of mine said, "Hey, do you know that Alberto he likes cars? So why don't you go show him what you bought?" I wasn't expecting that, so like, yeah, sure. We have to move some cars in the collection. Let's go all together. You can help me. So from there, I was supposed to do something else that day. I just threw my plans out of the window. I said, "Let's go check this collection," because I didn't know what to expect. We walked
That's
like
amazing.
Yeah, we walked like 50 meters, not even, and in the middle of the city there was this wall that it was like a hidden garage door. It was actually, like on those films where you reveal that there's a fake wall with all
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
treasure, just like that. I
Yeah.
passed along that road so many times. I never knew that was a garage door. He just pressed the button, opened it, scrolled it to the side, and there he had an MG race car that he had bought, and a couple of older MG cars, an Alfa Romeo, and he said, like, "I need to move some of these cars. They've been sitting for long. Why don't we just go take a ride along the river and go have lunch somewhere?"
He
And
invited you.
that's yeah. So we ended
So
up taking
nice.
we ended up taking one of the classic Jaguar NK2, the, let's say, luxury sedan sporty one. That was
Yeah.
a day that I was not expecting, and I was talking with them. There are actually so many of these collections in the city I'm in. For example, every time I see a door open, I always take a peek inside. I know, for example, in my street there's someone with Porsches. Then, if I just go to another palace that's right here, I know there are some Ferrari race cars. I've been trying to get inside that one for a long time, and yeah, it's like just by passing by, you will never guess that.
I guess so.
In five
And then
days,
just
we yeah.
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
So like, in 5 days we have a car meeting in here in town, with cars from these different collections. And just to think, it's going to be like 300 cars. All of them
Wow.
are in the middle of the city. And you never see them, and they are hidden. So I'm guessing Hong Kong has to be kind of like that, like as you were saying, by the video from Larry Chen.
Yeah, I mean, some of you might know I live in Hong Kong for over 26 years, right? So even if you don't live here, they'll probably have seen some of the photos from Hong Kong. No matter Hong Kong Island or Kowloon, you see all these high-rise buildings. It seems like the whole place is plastered with high buildings, right? There has to be something secretive, right? But the reality really is, while there are some collections, I guess, that can afford to have their own private property, there's actually a lot of people. If let me actually say the majority of people that collect, and I'm not saying something like hypercar, a collector. Okay, this is the next topic. We can talk about this in a couple of minutes. What is actually a collection, right? Could be anything, but the majority of collectors, I would say, they actually have to park their collection, no matter how valuable, in the, yeah, not public car park, but like each of these buildings that you see in Hong Kong, they usually have like a couple of floors reserved for parking, and in theory everybody can go in there and, yeah, and access it. So it's but it's okay. Like this was actually one of the true things that Larry mentioned in his video. I mean, Hong Kong, we don't really have a problem about cars being stolen. People are very nice and generative. I mean, yeah, I guess nice is the right word. There's basically no crime, but again, don't hang me up on the crime rate here. I'm not really familiar with that. But from my guts feeling, I've been living here so long, I never had any problems, anything stolen here. So it's really a wonderful place. But yeah, what is a collection? How do you define a car collection, Alberto?
So that got me thinking. I've been debating about this for a couple of hours. I think I would say that three different kinds of car collections that we could basically group any car enthusiast with more than one car in. We see those collections that are more public, as you were saying, that you can find people who drive them, people who enjoy them. Then we have, like we were talking before, those hidden car collections with cars that no one knows they are there. I encounter them so often when I go to the Concorso Eleganza or places like Pebble Beach. People who hide those cars from the public for decades, hoping to later on unveil them and win some prizes just because nobody knew about that car anymore. They forgot about it. And then we had the people who have so many cars that they still decide to share with the world and end up building those museums, like you have the Lane Museum, the Schlumpf collection in France, the Petersen, or even in Germany they opened a couple of years ago the Loch collection, which is the National Motor
Okay.
Museum. And those were all born from collecting cars, having way too many cars. You can drive them, but why hide them?
Yeah, true. I mean, okay, now it's my 50 cents, right? Car collection. I
Mm.
always think about, I mean, besides the typical suspects, right? We're of course we're active on social media, so we have to talk about Ferrari collector David Lee. He obviously is very prominent with his Ferrari collection. Recently, I think Shmi 150. Very congratulations to him. He opened his own Shmi museum. I think it's also sort of a collection, definitely, right? But I would go also to so far to say that in a couple of years ago, there was this gentleman from, I don't know, somewhere Middle East. Was it Dubai or Qatar? He had all his supercars gold wrapped. Have you seen this? There was like a Lamborghini Aventador, a G-Class 6x6, and a couple of other cars. And he usually flew them to London in the summer, I think, and all gold. Like, I think it's also sort of a collection, isn't it?
I don't know. I mean, I know of this guy who paints all his cars in Tiffany blue, who had the Zonda 1, the Koenigsegg, all those cars in
Yeah,
those
there you
colors.
go. There you
Because
go.
as you were saying, there are so many thematic collections. A few months ago, there was this sale of an all-white collection. I don't remember if it was just Porsches or the supercars too. But those points, I wonder, like, were they doing it because they were really passionate about this, or just as an investment? Because in the end, all those cars from the white collection, they were barely driven, and they just sold them as like
Hmm.
all white, like something just to catch up, like with the media, as you said, like to
Yeah.
generate some hype around it. So I don't know. I think as long as I'm more of the opinion of just collect what you like, not for the others, not for social media. Just if you
Absolutely.
would be happy with maybe 5 cars that you're going to drive, that maybe with having 500 that you never see, for obviously Brunei his car collection. What do you think about this one? Yeah.
Wow, yeah, this is special, right? And again, now we're going into a direction I really love to talk about. You just now you mentioned you have to like it. Can I say like this? I think this is something you wanted to say, right? First of all, it's your collection.
Yeah.
You have to like it. And for a couple of years, actually still ongoing. During COVID, I was based in Thailand, and we were running actually well, not really car collection, but sort of car collection, right? A warehouse where we take care of some of the cars from some wealthy individuals in Thailand. And one of my, or some of the favorite cars I actually had at that car collection warehouse was actually not your typical Ferrari 430 or yet another Aventador, but it was these cars that were atypical, right? That you usually don't see normally. And I think when you're talking about Sultan Brunei, wow, definitely one of the collections in the world. I think he has a lot of cars custom made for him. Yeah, but when we talk about Hong Kong, I think there's definitely one thing I can say after being 26 years in Hong Kong. If there's anything rare in the world, there's probably one of that in Hong Kong. If somebody says no, then it's probably too secret that anybody knows about this. But what I can say for sure, and now is probably the time to debunk some of these things that Larry Chen got wrong. People in Hong Kong, they don't have to be afraid of the government. Hong Kong is one of the best places in the world to be, not only for car collectors, but for anything. Me personally, I'm sure sometimes you get stopped by the police, but I think you get stopped in every country, right? So if you do nothing wrong, there's nothing really you have to worry about. Yeah, true, there are some regulations about tuning. You have to follow that. But again, nobody will come, like in his video, Larry Chen, he said like, oh, people are really scared that anytime the cars can be taken away. Sorry, it's BS. Yeah, there's nobody, especially in Hong Kong, nobody can just come and take away your cars. So please, I want the world to know Hong Kong is a great place, especially for car collectors, and we are not afraid. If you look at social media, what is the kind of most interesting collections for you have seen online?
I'm actually not that big of a follower in social media about collections because I rather follow either designers or photographers. Sometimes I see some collectors that I can actually follow because they have a nice interest in their cars. They have some pieces that are different. But something that I fear about social media is that so many of those collections are more catered towards their fans rather than themselves. And I don't feel that they are so
there's no passion there.
As true exactly as someone that I may find here that have only like 3-4 cars only that may be cheaper, but something that they were passionate about, something that they've been following, trying to buy, like this classic car. There's only 3 in the world. Nobody knows about them. They are not even that expensive because nobody cares about them. But he saw them when he was a kid. He wanted to buy it. He had to follow this car around the world to get it. I think there's more passion, more stories about those cars than just, hey guys, what car should I buy? It's like, oh, this car is going to get me lots of likes on social media.
Anybody can go, let's say if you have the money, okay, anybody can go to buy a limited edition Ferrari. But to take the time and passion or memories to buy a car, to find a car, to spend years on finding that particular car or even cars in plural, that is something you can only do when you have truly passion. And that is even, it doesn't matter, money doesn't mean that you have passion, right? But certainly I think a lot of people who have car collections, they do have passion as well. And I'm really sorry we have to continue, but 15 minutes are full again. This is always so quick talking with you, Alberto. I mean, it's really wonderful. Thank you so much for being with us here today again, Alberto. And
thank you for having me.
For tuning in, and then hopefully see you next
Let's see what people think. Yeah.
We'll continue a little bit more after this one, is it? Okay, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you. That was fast again. Yeah.
Yeah, natural. I think that's the way to go, right? Natural.
I'm going to stop the video. I was actually about to add how. Okay.